Okay, here's a lovely little drawing of our Spar logo here. And this one is great for a little bit of problem solving, a little bit of understanding all the bits we know around tangent circles. Now the key thing to remember is to draw a circle, you need to know its radius and you need to know its center. That's all you need to know. Okay, all the time we're going to be trying to pin this down and figure it out. Typically, with a center, we're going to know that it's going to be along one line, and if we can find another piece of information like it's along this line, then we know where the center is. Okay, so we'll start with, as always, with our little center lines here, so we can locate the center cleanly, and we'll get these outer two circles. Now, with the outer circle here, you notice, of course, they've given it to us as a diameter, and be careful of those ones. So 152 divided by 2. Now, let's pop this in here. I'm going to zoom us back out. There we go, so we can see things a little bit more clearly. And we'll get ourselves focused. Now, so there we are, right in the center of our page. Nice big center line. Extend that down a bit here. And there we go. Now, at this point, just fix our camera and lock our focus so that it doesn't keep jumping on you every time my hand comes in. And away we go. Okay, so 152 for our big diameter divided by 2 is 76. Yep. Okay, you can do this on a calculator if you need to. Now, so there we are. 76 mil. Okay, and that funny kind of Q symbol just means diameter. So there we go. Now I'm going to get a good clean hole in the center of this. So this outer one, nice big circle, we can draw on as heavy. All right, because we've got, we can see that the whole thing's going to be heavy. Now my next one in, which we'll only draw as construction for the moment, is going to be 60. And if you look at that one, okay, we see here that it's the or 60, okay, radius 60, and that's how I know, whoops, there we are on camera, that's how I know that that one is 60. So we'll pop that in as a little construction for the moment. All right, we'll see where to go next. Now, with all these drawings, if you ever, there's no one place you have to go next. It's a case of saying, well, what else do I know? What else can I kind of work through? So if you do this in a different order to me, it doesn't really matter. Now we just need to check this. We're zoomed slightly too much here. There we go. Okay. Right. So what I know is I know that there's a 22 mil down at the top here. So let's go do that. And then I can come a further 80 down to find the bottom of the Spar logo. So 22, just measure that nice and carefully. There we go there. And again, I'm just going to reset to save myself any maths I might trip over. And there's my line at 80. So we'll do a little construction line across here. Something's certainly happening at that point. And there's the tip of the Spar logo. All right, what else do we know? Well, we know that it's 16 across, and since that's a center line, that's 8 each way. 8 this way and 8 that way. Let's go put that in. And I'll just measure it off this guy here, and we'll drop it down. There we are. Just check that everything looks symmetrical. So now I know a little bit more about this. What else do I know? I know that this guy is 88 across. Okay, so of course 44 each side. Let's go put that in. We're just getting all the easy things out of the way, because then it becomes a bit easier to see the solution to the harder stuff. Okay, nice heavy line, good and clear there. Okay, so where do we go next? Well, let's go up and do this guy. Now this arc here I know is radius 132, so I'm part of the way there. But I don't know where the center is, all right? However, I do know that's a point on it, so that's 132 from there. I know that's a point. So this is how I'm going to solve this guy. So I'll set my compass to 132, which is pretty big. Show you there. All right, so I know that it's 132 from there, which of course means the center is somewhere up here. Now, we just make sure we haven't gone off camera. No, we're all good. And then I know it's also 132 from the top of it. So we won't get that in right. So there's my center. And while I'm here, I'll do the other side, because I'll need to find the same information on the other side. So those things give me my center. Now I can draw it in just like this. Okay, a really useful little technique. Okay, so there is the center bit of the spar. And of course, I now realize I shouldn't have drawn those heavy, but you know, there we go, pop them, reverse them back a little bit. So what am I going to do about this guy down here? Well, what do we know? That's vertical. So the point of contact is here. So the center is 15 across in this direction. All right, so I can come across 15 for each of these guys. So I'll just do it on this line here, 15. And again, because it's symmetrical, we'll do the two at the same time. There we go. So it's somewhere on that line. Okay, just a construction line. Now, the other thing we know is it's tangent to this circle, okay, which means it's 15 back from this line. So we kind of came across 15 from here. But you think, what does a line look like that's 15 smaller than this? It looks like a smaller circle. That was 60, so take away 15 and we have 45. Now, there we go. So, the center for this guy is on an arc 45 from here. Okay, if that's the center, all right, my point of contact is going to be there and there, because that normal is perpendicular to this line. So that's where it's going to come down to. I won't draw it in heavy until I draw the circle. And now we'll go back and draw the circle. And just a little tip is to use the measurement on the page to get the compass. It'll look much nicer that way. Okay, any tiny errors will get gobbled up in it. So there. Okay, now we've not quite solved the whole thing yet, okay? Because the question is, where does that one contact? So we'll draw this in as a little construction as well. All right. It's kind of hard to see exactly where it is, and the key to this one is the point of contact is on a line between the two centers. So we'll see if we have our lovely little green color here. So if I draw a line between the two centers, there we go. That gives me my point of contact there, and it'll be exactly the same on the other side. There it is. So there's my point of contact. Okay, I got my points of contact there and there, because that's 90 degrees to it. So let's come back here, nice and careful drawing with this small fiddly circle. There we are. And now we can go back around this with a bigger one, 60. And all we need to do now is just heavy in these little missing lines here, there and there. Okay, and that of course should be a little bit lighter. I'm just going to back that off a bit more with my rubber. Just think twice before you draw the heavy ones. So there we are. Quite a technical little drawing, but a lovely little one to practice.